Personality traits. Let's talk about it. We're going to be specifically talking about personality traits when it comes to talking about weekends. I forgot what it was there for a second. So here are our objectives. We're going to try and remember at least 5 words related to this topic. We're going to describe other people. We're going to use graphic organizers to help us see similarities and differences between us and other people. And hopefully we'll get to know our friends as well as our classmates. Let's practice. We're going to be using brainstorming or mind mapping to talk about or explore what is our personality. So for example, I would describe myself with these 4 keywords, and I'm looking at them from our textbook, so from page 34 and 35. I would say that I'm an extrovert. Everybody that meets me, they're like, yeah, you're an extrovert. But then that depends on when you met me. If you met me before university, you would have said the opposite. You would have said you are an introvert. Like some of my family members, like my aunts, close family members would say, does she talk? Because they never heard me. I never spoke out loud in public. No way. But now you can't get me to shut up. I'm definitely indoors. I'm indoors more than I am outdoors. I hate the cold. And unfortunately, I've chosen to live in places where it's cold. And so because of that, I don't like going outside. And then if I do go outside, I like to go to places. I don't really like hiking. In Korea, it's a lot of mountains, a lot of stairs, a lot of going up and down. I don't enjoy that. I want flat grounds. The only time I will walk is if I'm not in Korea and I'm on holiday. Then my steps, I'm doing 10,000 steps, 20,000 steps. But if I'm in Korea, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I don't know why, and I'm trying to be better with it, but it's hard. When it comes to losing things, I think the reason why I lose things, or maybe I shouldn't say lose things, I should say misplace things, is because I have no system. There is no system in my life where I put things in a certain location and when I need it, I find it. This is because whenever I have to go to the immigration as a foreigner, every year, I have to renew my visa, which allows me to stay legally in this country. If I do not renew my visa, I have to leave Korea immediately, and I might even not be able to come back. So it's very serious stuff. So I need certain documents. For example, where do I work? Where do I live? I think some my timetables, my contract, my work contract. So there's some documents that I have to keep safe, and I always need those things. But why? Tell me why every time it's time to renew my visa, I'm always like, where is it? Where did I put it? I carry like a big bag, but I still don't know where any of my items are, so it's pretty bad. And I'm always looking for my school materials. There's always a worksheet that I need, or a pencil or a specific pen or a specific thing that I need for my classes, and I can never find them, even though I put them away. I was the one that put them away. And the other thing is I'm always reorganizing things. Like I'm always moving and changing things. So it can be very frustrating. And ways that I'm an extrovert, which is something that is totally different, you're going to see it in a minute, to the person I'm going to be talking about, is that I am fine talking to strangers anywhere. I've met really, really good people and have had some really great experiences just because I just spoke to people. The recent experience of that was I was in Rome and we were waiting for the bus to come to take us to the town center, to downtown Rome. And we were waiting for ages. There were 2 people in front of me who spoke English. I was like, I want to know, or I think there was mother and daughter. They were asking each other questions about when is the bus coming? I don't know if the bus is coming. What is happening? And I just said, look, I think the bus will be coming soon. It says on the map that it's going to come at this time. My husband would never do that, but I'm totally okay with it. Dancing with strangers. I've had many, many great times just dancing and vibing with different people. The Philippines was one of my favorite places because I could just, random people were just so free to dance with me and nobody cared about how we looked. Everybody was just in it for a good time. And then also, I always try and make, especially CNUE students, sometimes KNU students too, I always try and make them dance, but you guys always shy away. But I know in your heart you want to join me. So don't be shy. Don't be shy when it comes to dancing. I love it. So the person that I want to describe today, using this mind map, I'm going to say 4 things about the person that I'm closest to, which is my husband. Happy birthday. Oh. Done?
Just 1 minute.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Yay. She.
You already started.
You're trying to equate me sitting down for a few minutes.
No. I mean, it's outside, it's cold, and I'm worried about you.
Whatever. Ooh, I look good.
Yeah, you look good.
My skin's popping.
Skin is
I'm glowing. And I'm going to show his side of things. So he's definitely an outdoors person. He loves going to places, having adventures. If he could do parkour as like, is it parkour? I think it is parkour. But if he could do that as a job, he would love it. He loves flying drones. You can't fly drones indoors unless it's an FPV, but he loves going out. He loves adventures and other stuff. He is well organized because, like, if you look at the way he organizes his files on his computer compared to mine, he has video files from like this event, that event, because he takes pictures and he also flies his drones. So he is super organized. And also his bags. When I buy a bag, I just buy a bag. Does it look good on the outside? That's my bag for my husband. He doesn't buy a bag. He invests in an organization system. It needs to fit in all of the things that he needs to carry in his whole entire life. So he needs to have space for a laptop, an iPad, a drone, a camera, his cords, his mouse, deodorant, a bit of perfume. Maybe he needs, I don't know, medication. I don't know, whatever. He needs the bag that has as many pockets as that. So when he's buying a bag, he's not just buying any bag. He's buying like a whole wardrobe of a bag. So it's really interesting. I never knew that guys were like that. And I've never met somebody like that until I met my husband. Interestingly enough, I think we're both night owls. We both function much more better during the night than we do in the mornings. But our jobs are pushing us to become morning people. He's an introvert. So on the spectrum of extrovert, introvert, I think he gains more energy from calmer spaces, quieter spaces, more intimate situations. So he doesn't really like talking to strangers, although he would. And this is what I meant earlier by, I don't think it's fair to put people in a box and say they are just this. I don't think he wouldn't speak to strangers. He would, but he doesn't like it as much, or he's not as confident to do it. And he doesn't really enjoy big parties. So when we went to the Philippines, I was dancing for about 3 hours. He was just sitting down waiting for me for most of that time. He's been very patient with me, so I'm really thankful. And he would much rather than a big party, he would much rather a small gathering with friends where they play games. That would be a much better. He does enjoy parties as well, but it would much rather be like a games night. The view from my eyes is always my husband and his wife. He holds her everywhere he goes. and he only thinks about her. And they've spent more time together than we have. And now he's pretending as if he cares about me. But oh no, he's taking his other wife. Just when I thought I was important, guess what? I am not. And there they go. The little happy family going well together. Don't even know if I exist. Am I behind him? He doesn't care. Am I with him? He doesn't know. Until now.
So what is it that you're saying? Come on, let's go.
And still, does he put her down? Nope. He continues shamelessly walking with his gimbal in one hand, camera in another. And mind you, that gimbal is supposed to be mine. But oh no, it's gone. It's no longer mine. This is Chronicles of a Wife on a trip with her husband and his other wives. Using a Venn diagram, which is another graphic organizer, you can see how me and my husband, who is my best friend, are alike and different. So in how we're alike, I would say we're definitely night owls. What else are we alike? We're actually, another word that I would say we're alike is we are teetotalers. So we don't drink. We don't drink any alcohol. That's how we are. And I think we are totally honest with each other. Are we, Doggy? Are we totally honest with each other? And we're definitely workaholics. We are workaholics. That's something that we want to change, but we're definitely workaholics. But in how we're different, like I have just explained, we are extroverts. I wouldn't say my husband is a couch potato. I think I think we influence each other, but he's definitely somebody who's always on the go, again, outdoors. And so that's how we are. So I want you to do the same thing. Think about your best friend or your family member, just anyone that you're close to, and do the same thing. Tell me, using a mind map, describe them, and then use a Venn diagram. You can use whichever graphic organizer you want. Tell me how you are the same and how you are different. And hopefully you might learn something new. And if you don't know much about the person you're close to, maybe ask them, maybe have a conversation with them in English about personalities. Great. And then afterwards, I want you to be able to talk to me about the people. So here's an example. Using these sentence helpers to talk, I'm going to talk about myself. So I'm Claudia, and this is me in a nutshell. So this is me in kind of like a very short paragraph or a very short sentence, or in a very short and quick way. This is who I am. I am an extrovert. I am an extrovert for most times because I love talking to strangers and dancing with random people. I like being indoors because I love watching dramas and movies, and I don't like the cold, so indoors is so much safer for me. I can hold a grudge when somebody has really hurt me who's close to me and it comes unexpectedly. That's always really hard. Like if you're a stranger and you do something, I'll forget it very soon. But if you're close to me and you do something and I didn't expect it, that's really, really hard. I am a night owl because most of the work that I do, or most of the time when I have energy to do the work that I'm supposed to do during the day, is at nighttime. So that's a little bit about me. All right, how about my husband? My husband, in a nutshell, he is an introvert for most times because he prefers small gatherings and really enjoys being at home with close people and doesn't really like talking to strangers. He likes, it should be he likes the outdoors, not I like the outdoors. He likes the outdoors because he loves flying his drones. He loves climbing on things and jumping off things and just enjoying nature and being outside. And he loves photographing landscape nature. He forgives and forgets, but he also causes a lot of the fights between us. Yes, you do, Doggy. He is a night owl because that's when his energy comes to life, and he finds new ways and new and creative ways to just extend his day right into the nighttime. All right, so I want you to be able to talk about the people in your life using the words that we're learning about and sharing them with me. That I think that would be really interesting. All right, something else that you can do as we're talking about personality traits is journaling. You could try this if you have some free time. This is just an extra little activity that you can do for yourself. If you have free time, I want you to choose one question, one of these 4 questions, and write about it for 5 minutes. So question number 1, in what situations do you feel most comfortable, and what does this say about your personality? So when do you usually feel most comfortable, and what does it say about you? In my case, I feel most comfortable when I am just in some baggy clothes with snacks in front of the television. But then I also feel really comfortable when there's some music, food, and people around me, and I'll tell stories and I'll talk and talk and talk. Yeah, that That's getting me minute. Number 2. Can you think of a time when being introverted or extroverted helped you, or made things worse for you? I think because I would describe myself more as an extroverted person, I would say it helps me because I can get to know people really easily. And when I have traveled in the past, that's been really, really important, because I once went to Thailand and I didn't prepare. There were so many things that I didn't prepare. I didn't know how I was going to get to my accommodation. I didn't know how I was going to get from the airport to my accommodation, or where my accommodation was. And I don't know if I had any Thai bahts. I think I just had ones with me. I don't know if I exchanged any money, and I didn't have any Wi-Fi. But because I'm talkative, I was able to make a friend who was going to Thailand at the airport. We boarded the plane together. When we landed, we also talked about where we were going. We realized we were going to the same area. So because of that friend, I was able to get to the place, because he also had Wi-Fi. So I was actually able to know where my hostel was. And I was able to get there, which was really, really good. Number 3, what's your ideal personality trait for a boyfriend or girlfriend? I think in my case, well, I'm now married, so it's too late for that. I would have said before getting married that my ideal personality type would probably be somebody who is exactly like me, so that we can do the same activities. But life doesn't work that way, and I ended up with somebody who is very much the opposite of me. But we kind of have to be understanding towards each other and be patient with each other and work together. Yo, it ain't ideal, but we make it work. We make it work. Number 4, do you have the same personality as your friends, and what does this say about you? It's different. It's really, really different. I think the different stages of my life, I've met different types of people. I think when I was younger, I definitely was attracted to people who were very much like myself and made friends with people who were similar to me. As I grew older, though, I made friends with people from all walks of life. And that exposure has me, I think, I don't think I necessarily have friends who are extroverted like me. I think it's half and half. Some people have some similarities to me, and then some people have differences. I think something that's been really interesting, though, in my later years is that a lot of my friends are Christians or they are foreigners. And so those are the things that pull us together and make us have common ideas or traits. I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that question myself. All right, good. So if you have the time, this is a really good way just to spend 5 minutes practicing your writing, practicing putting your ideas. You can just choose a question and write about it. And this is just for your personal thing. And if you do this, you can post it on your website, on your e-portfolio. And you can always come back to this later on a few years' time and see if you still think the same. All right, the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about personal questions. Are these questions too personal, or are they okay? How do you feel about these questions? So the first one is, how old are you? Do you believe in God? Number 2. Number 3, do you like rock music? Number 4, how much money do you make? So of these 4 questions, which questions do you think are okay? Which questions do you think are not okay? Write your answer in the comments below. Now, in my case, I think number 1, which is commonly asked in Korea, I just think with foreign people, that's just a no-no. But I get it. I now get it, that it's important to find out how old somebody is in Korea, because then you decide whether or not you guys can be friends, and then blah 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 blah. I understand that, but I still think for me, age is still like something that you ask people maybe a little bit down the line and later on, especially as you get older. People don't want you to know their age because they don't want you to be like, oh my gosh, you're that old or you're that young. Like, nobody wants that. Number 2, do you believe in God? Now, I have 2 thoughts on this. Thought number 1, in my opinion, this is a tricky one, and I think it depends on the society you're in. Some societies, religion is like no-go zone. Don't ask me about it. You might offend me. And then some other places, people are like, I don't mind. You could ask me. You could talk to me. How is it for you? How do you think? Number 3, the type of music. I think that's a perfectly fine question. Would you be offended if I asked you what type of music you're into? Number 4, would you tell people how much money you make? For me, I think we should tell people how much money we make, just because I want to know, am I getting paid a good amount? Like, how do I know the money I'm receiving is good if I don't know what everybody else is receiving? Like, why do we keep it a secret? But I understand when people know how much money you make, it could cause problems, everything like that. But is it okay? Is it okay? Let me know in the comments below. All right, next up. You look sick today. Somebody in Korea said that to me one time, and I was just like, I had to go look in the mirror because I thought I looked good. I thought I looked fine. And then they were like, man, you look sick. Are you okay? And I was just like, boy, oh boy. That did not feel good. You are very beautiful. Is that okay, or is that too personal? Number 3, you look a little heavy these days. You look a little heavy these days. This means that you're getting big, right? You used to be small, but now you're getting a little bit plump. Is that okay? Would you be offended if somebody said that to you? Again, I think it depends on the culture that you're in. Some societies, like Jamaican societies, I've seen my Jamaican friends be like, if somebody calls you fatty, hey, fatty, it's, yeah, man, it's fine. In another society, you try that. Try tell somebody that they're fat, and then you're gonna have problems. Number 4, I like your shirt. Where did you buy it? Are you okay when some people ask you where you got certain things from? Do you feel comfortable about that, or do you feel a little bit like, yo, do I know you like that? Me and you, are we that close? Would you get offended if somebody asked you the question about where you get your items from? In my case, if somebody says they like something, I think I've had that once before where somebody said they liked what I was wearing. I would tell them, because I know that I'm not buying very expensive things, and I'm okay to share, because again, if you like something, and if I liked something, I would ask you and I would want to get the same thing. But I get it. I get that it could cause some, some little frictions, and maybe you want to keep also your secret store to yourself. But for me, I think that's an okay question. What about you? What do you think? All right, so I think we're coming to the end of today's online lesson. I hope you enjoyed the video. I tried to put in some little exercises for you to think about personality traits, talking about people who are close to you, and also thinking about what is acceptable to ask and what isn't acceptable to ask, because it's always different for the different types of people that you might meet. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I shall see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye bye.